Keenan Shanolds here, West Virginia Land and Home Realty, and today we're in the Bluffs on the Potomac, lot 120. This lot's 20 and a half acres basically, and as you can see, it's got this 2-story shed on it, which is 14 by 28, 2-story. It's a little over 700 and some square foot of floor space, and we'll go in there and check that out in a minute. And this place actually does have a physical address. It's 4475 Grace's Cabin Road, and I'll just show you here. So right out there is Grace's Cabin Road. So it's basically 4.5 miles from here out to Route 28. And one thing about this place is it's really close to the river access in the Bluffs. So, you know, you can hop on your ATV side by side and be down at the river access in maybe about a mile from here at most. And some other cool things I want to point out about this lot. You can see you got a little pond right there. And also what you have down here on this lower level, there's a flat right there. And I'll zoom in so you can see the electric box there and everything. This property has electric service on it, like a plug-in down there. So if you wanted to pull a camper in here, there's a great spot to back it in right there, and you have electricity. And there are trails. The owner has ATV trails basically all around this property. So, and the lot's funky shaped, and you'll see that here. We'll look at the plat here in a minute. It's kind of a funky shape, but he's got it usable, and you could see, like there by my truck, you could see like the dirt. There's like an ATV trail there, ATV trail going up the hollow. I mean, you can get around every square inch of this lot basically. And a lot of the ground is kind of up this way in this pine thicket, and this lot has a ton of road frontage. So it has frontage here on Grace's Cabin Road for a long ways, and then you go up and you can make a left through one of the Bluffs gates, and it goes up around there, and I'll show you that here in a minute. But a mix of pines and hardwoods. You kind of got more hardwoods on this end, the pines kind of on this end. And you got a couple options for a building site on this lot to build, you know, your cabin or home, which I'd say primarily are up in that direction. And you're kind of looking into the mountain a little bit this way. And that's going to kind of be facing west in that direction. Just walk you around here for a minute so you can see. I don't want to blind you, but you can actually pull up. There's like a little clearing right here. ATV trail going up on the hill. Like I said, there's trails everywhere on this lot. But let me show you here. So you got a road, basically a driveway, a big shed, electric service, trails everywhere. There's a good shot looking back up into the little clearing in the hollow here behind the shed. Let me show you here. So here's what the lot looks like. And you can see the cabin or shed sits right here. Little ponds right there. And you'll see it's kind of like hardwoods this way. This is kind of a hillside through here. But like I said, there's a trail. He's got a trail through there. And then this upper side lays pretty nice in here in these pines. And like I said, this is your frontage on Grace's Cabin Road, runs up like this. Then there's a gate for the Bluffs right here. And then, you know, you go through the gate, and anywhere up in here, you know, you got a build site and that sort of thing. But it's kind of funky on how it's shaped. But the way it lays out is excellent for hunting, because you got a lot of surface area here across ways, you know, to catch deer across. And there are always, and I mean always, you cannot drive in the Bluffs without seeing deer right in here going in and out of that pine thicket right there. But let's go inside and check this out. There is electricity here to the shed, and it's ran up, actually, I'll show you. There's just a real heavy gauge extension cord that's been here for years that runs from the plug. Look at that buck rub right there. That runs from the meter socket down there in that plug. This extension cord just runs up here. Plugs in right there, and that's where your electric comes from and everything. Because there's lights and stuff in here, but I think he must have the breaker turned off down there at the panel, and I've been in here when the lights been on. I know they work. But take you inside here. Behind those curtains, there's a little glass sliding door, you know, like on the front there or whatever. But 14 by 28, 2-story. Big loft upstairs. So, I know I don't have the lights on here, but I know they work. I've seen them work. I should have went down and turned the breaker on probably. But now I can speak on this wholeheartedly. I just bought a 14 by 28 shed to put at my office. And it was about $13,000. And that was a good price. I got a good deal on it. But that's not with the other story in it. So, like today, if you wanted to replace this building here, you're probably looking at 20 grand, I would say. Probably 18 to 20,000. The electric service, just add about 4,000 for that. The driveway up to here and the clearing and stuff, it's hard to do anything like that for less than probably 8,000 bucks. So you got $30,000 worth of land improvements here on this property. You know, that's being conservative, but realistically, that's what you got. And I'll show you here. Like if you wanted to convert this to get your ATV and stuff in here, this was originally like you know, like a barn door or whatever. But, you know, you could take that out and, you know, back an ATV or something like that in there. It's just neat. You're not super far back in here. You're back in here far enough. But 20 acres, electric, shed, ATV trails galore if you like to ride. You got all the trails in the world to get you around on this property. You know, $30,000 worth of improvements on this property. If you had to replicate it today, you got a little pond, the little pond down there, which is kind of neat. There's a gate across the driveway. You can see the hardwoods here, how it kind of turns into hardwoods here on the other side of my truck. So you got a mix of the pines and hardwoods. You're less than a mile from the river access for the Bluffs. So this is a neat little place. Come check it out. You'll be glad you did. Keenan Shanotes here again, West Virginia Land and Home Realty on lot 120 here in the Bluffs, 4475 Grace's Cabin Road. What I wanted to show you is this. So I told you the owner had ATV trails all over the place, and you could see, I mean, I could drive my pickup up here, and there's another one that comes in and meets like right here. But I'll show you where we're at on the lot. Here's the shed right here. All I did was kind of take this trail, and I'm right here's where I'm at. You'll see I'm going to show you this corner right here in a minute. But you don't realize how far this lot continues this way. It's insane. I mean, that line right there from, I'll actually look at the plat here and tell you. Pardon me a minute. The wind's not being my friend today. So from here where we're at right now, it's 1,275 feet. So you're over 400 yards yet this way that it goes, and you actually got the little creek here on the property down along Grace's Cabin Road, and you'll see it doesn't exactly touch Grace's, it just stays right off the edge of Grace's Cabin Road. But like I said, we're right here. It's 400 yards yet, you know, in this direction. And that's kind of what I want to point out is that, you know, there is a lot of riding to be done here, and I'll show you. So, if you see 3 marks on a tree instead of 2, that means a corner. So this property line kind of goes out to the other Bluffs Road this way, comes to right here, and then takes off this way. But I want to show you up here. Look at what you got. You got really, really nice views. Like, and it would be easy. I mean, there's already a road here, like a driveway that comes in. But if you wanted to get up in here somewhere and build on the ridge right here, you got really, really nice views kind of looking back to the north and everything. And this will illustrate to you how this lot has nice hardwoods on it. You know, in terms of hunting, I mean, you go a long ways that way. I mean, so deer cross this property at multiple spots. So you can just see how the trail goes down through there, but looky here. Look at the view you got. No reason why you couldn't build right here if you wanted to. And but mainly I just wanted to illustrate, you know, kind of like the trails and stuff like that. But there's a lot, there might be a mile of trails on this 20-acre lot. That, yeah, maybe so. So, and right down there is Grace's Cabin Road. You can see the vehicles down, and that's a state maintained road. And maybe about, you know, a quarter mile up the road is where the state maintenance ends, and you start hitting gates in the bluffs. But this is a very usable lot. Don't let the shape of it, don't let this weird shape fool you. There's a lot of usable ground here. You can get around on it, and it feels a lot bigger than what it is because it's so long. 4475 Grace's Cabin Road, lot 120. Come check it out. Keenan Shanholz here, West Virginia Land and Home Realty. I just figured it was kind of time to maybe make a new video here at the Bluffs Common area for the Bluffs on the Potomac. And I'm going to zoom in here and you can see some ducks floating around there. But this is a common area for the Bluffs here on the South Branch of the Potomac River. I'm standing on the steps here that go down into the river here, and as I'm taking this video, the river is up right now. It's probably up 2 or 3 feet from where it should be. You know, in the summertime, you're going to be able to walk across the river here and probably not be in over your chest. So it's a good place to come down here and hang out, swim, fish, you know, just kind of hang out. As you can see, there's a picnic table there. There's a little concrete bridge where you come across to get over here to the river. And there's some picnic pavilions over there going up that hollow. And then going up the bigger hollow there, there's the big pavilion where they have, you know, community meetings and whatnot. And there's also dumpsters down here. Well, a dumpster. That's one thing about the Bluffs. There's all electronic gates in here now for the community, except for the common area here on the river, which you need a key for. But the Bluffs does provide trash service, which is very uncommon for communities around here. They have dumpsters at different gates and stuff like that for you to, particularly if you're a weekender, that's really handy. So you don't have to haul your trash home with you when you leave. But what a great spot this is down here. I mean, the Bluffs, one thing that the Bluffs has that most of these big 20-acre lot communities doesn't have is the common access to the river here. And, you know, going upriver this way, the river flows to the north, so we're looking back to the south now. When you go south from here, about 2.5 miles, there's a public access point at Hanging Rock. That's a good, you know, couple-hour trip down to the Bluffs Common area here. Well, south of that is the bridge in Romney, which that's the all-day trip down here to the Bluffs, which is probably about 7 miles from the bridge in Romney downriver to here. And then from where I'm at, downriver, you can go to Blue Beach Bridge, which is probably about 3 miles. So, you know, that's kind of what the common access does here to the river comparative to other communities. I mean, it kind of makes it a 4-season retreat. So if you're coming up here in the summertime, it's not hunting season or anything like that, you can come down here to the river, hang out, fish, you know, put in, take out, canoe, kayak, swim, you know, just cool off, bring your dog down here to get in the water. It's just a fantastic feature that the Bluffs has that no place else really does. It's worth a visit.